who, what, and how. Now, who is who you are actually helping, your target audience. What is what you are helping with. So your zone of genius. And here we talk mainly about what problem you solve, what results you create, and how it is your unique solution. So it is that unique way you deliver results to your clients. That can include your vibe, your philosophy, your point of view, perhaps where you deliver services, or even when. Yes, so that's something that includes that differentiating point. So who, what, and how. That's essentially what the niche includes, or it is, I would say, even a sweet spot between all those three things. That intersection of awesomeness, basically. Right. So, would you like me to elaborate a little bit on each of those elements?
Yeah, I think if you could quickly give us, just a little bit more meat to the bones, so that we have a better feeling for what you're trying to say.
Of course. So, so when we are talking about your target audience, maybe like this, what niche is not, because that almost combines now with what I'm talking about. Often in my webinars, when I ask coaches question, what is niche, and ask them to put comments in the chat box, practically 90% of them says that it is target audience, or some of them say that it is life purpose. And I wanted to show you that actually this is not what it is. So coaching niche is not a target audience. Coaching is not a problem you solve, is not the area or faculty of coaching. Often coaches think that also it is like mindfulness. I'm a mindfulness coach, and I think that this is niche. So this is just an area, just like health coach, well-being, career, purpose, confidence. This is not a niche. That's just like area of coaching. Also, coaching is, niche is not just the problem you solve, right? Is also not your unique approach. But all those things really are there within the niche. So essentially, just on its or by its own, those elements are not niche, but all of them together, come up to the global picture of what niche really is. So who, your target audience, is essentially the final group of people that share common challenges, goals, or aspirations. So as an example, who could be, for example, new moms who struggle to lose weight after giving birth, right? Or it could be, for example, men going through a midlife crisis, or people who desire career change. So when we think of target audience and who we want to serve, we think of not so much the demographics or the certain qualities that they have, but predominantly we think about the common issue they struggle with. Yeah, so think issue, then psychographics, then demographics, and then maybe qualities of those people. So that issue is something, again, the problem, the challenge they have, that is something that is the key to understand about your target audience. When we think of what, so what is that you help with, here that what combines two elements. One thing is knowing basically what result or benefit you create for your clients through your coaching, and another thing, what problem you solve for your clients with your coaching, right? So problem and result is the two key component parts of what is that you help people with. And what is the examples? Like, you can help clients feel fulfilled and satisfied in their relationship. Yeah, so that focuses very much on result. Or for example, you can help working moms manage their energy better and create a healthier lifestyle, right? So often in your niche statement, you can state about results. So what is that you help people with as a main benefit. But what I believe what is true in my experience and in how I work, is that very often talking about problems is more powerful because people relate to problems more, and the results or benefit almost automatically unfolds from that. So there is very powerful exercise I take my clients through in establishing that what element, so that sweet spot, because essentially how you define or how you come up with understanding what is it that I am here to help, what kind of coach am I, right? You may have a general sense that, okay, I am a health coach or I am a well-being coach. I want to help people feel less stress at work so that they find more joy and fulfillment, for example. Yeah, so you have general sense of that. But it is very important to know, again, to drill a little bit deeper into those problems, right? Into understanding, well, what is it that causes, for example, stress? So exploring that problem is very important in then understanding what is that you help with. I like something that Albert Einstein was reading said, is that he said that if he had 1 hour to solve the problem, he spent 55 minutes on exploring the problem and 5 minutes on coming up with the solution. He also reportedly said that, what he said reportedly, yeah, so I think I just lost the plot. Yeah, it happens. But basically, yeah, I know what he said, that it is, he said that he's not even so smart, but what he does that maybe most people don't do is that he spend more time with the problem. And I think he's very insightful. So in understanding what is that you help with, you really look for understanding that key problem, that place where you really belong in your client life, why they don't come to you earlier, 3 months earlier, why they cannot wait 3 months longer, why it is so important for them to come to you now, today. And yeah, so that drilling around the understanding the client's important, and the best way actually to do it is to do simple market research, where I teach my clients to do very simple market research, which is heavily based really on reaching out to very specific people who may have that problem that you want to solve, and really get into understanding the way they talk about this, and asking some probably questions around, so that you really get that idea. But your what is essentially that sweet spot. So something that you are passionate about, something that you may interest in, something that you feel that you have skills around. Yeah. So maybe like let's simplify: what I love, what I am good at, and what people want, need, and pay for. So we're talking about passion plus skills and plus marketplace. That is something that is very important here, because your niche, we'll talk about this in a minute, will not necessarily survive if just your passion and skills are there, but not matching really what marketplace really needs and is willing to pay for. But let's move on to that how part. So your unique solution, that third important element of your niche. So for example, well, when it comes to how, it can include obviously your simple methodology, but when you work with clients, you actually learn not only your branding, what kind of brand you are, what kind of people you attract, and then you are in the position to develop your point of view, because you've worked more, you understand problem even more, you developed your process, you refine those things over time. So I think when someone is just starting coaching, yeah, as a business, we often put pressure on ourselves when it comes to that. But the truth is that at the beginning, you really need to be open to learn, to work with clients, and then just to see exactly where you are with it, because then you are able to really deeply understand, who am I for, or answer that question, who am I for? Yeah, it's difficult to know it from the start, right? That's just general golden rule. Yeah, so, but when I work with new coaches who already worked with at least 3 clients, whether that's paid or pro bono, but they took them through the coaching processes, and they see that it works, they got some good testimonials, that's the kind of client for me, because in that place I am able to help them refine that process, which is really looking at what is it that they are doing with the clients first, what happens next, what's after that. But the key to really defining your process as a part of your niche is simplicity, is definitely simplicity, and communicating it in a cohesive way. So very often coaches, okay, I am guilty of that too, but we use a very kind of sophisticated language, or very, I would actually say very vague language, like I will help you bring your potential, or overcome your limiting beliefs, or things like that, or find your true self. This means absolutely nothing to your to clients, because the key, a big mistake that coaches make is that we don't think like a client, we just think like a coach. So you need to switch that. So when you outline your coaching methodology, for example, 5 steps to meaningful life, or to a healthy body, or whatever, you gotta challenge yourself to say it in a more simple way. That when you meet that person at a networking event, or when you speak to them online on presentation and tell them about your work, it is so simple that it grabs their attention. They want to listen more, and they and they are able basically to potentially refer you to someone, because it's so clear what you are helping with. And so, for example, you can say, actually, in my example, in my business, I would normally add extra statement to my niche statement, saying that I work based on my nail your niche and shine process that teaches coaches how to see their own value, discover their most aligned niche, and build a solid coaching practice with grace and ease. Yes. Or another coach may say, in my program, I help clients change their lifestyle step by step and find more health and positive attitude to themselves and their body as a result. But essentially, yeah, it is the process that I take my clients through, so they can beautifully describe step by step what is that they are doing with clients. And that's the starting point. And then over time, you add to it your philosophy, your point of view, and how you differentiate yourself from other coaches. I think it is, Di-Di, I think it is such a broad topic. I feel that I am pulled in different directions to talk about this. I don't know if that makes sense, but the thing is that it is I want to say a lot, because there's a lot to say, but I think at this point, what I wanted to add, so when we think of who, what, and how as key components of a niche, you may decide to distinguish yourself in the marketplace by focusing on who, or by focusing on what more, or by focusing on how. What I mean by this, that for example, as a well-being coach, you may decide that you want to highlight in your niche the kind of clients you serve. So, for example, you may be trying to help people, for example, specializing in working with women who are professional helpers, so like doctors, psychologists, coaches, and support them in taking care of themselves at least as much as they care of their clients, for example. But distinguish yourself because you pick that specific target audience that has something common and it's just different. Or you might decide to really focus on the very specific transition. So I know that there are out around coaches who call themselves transitional coaches, and are willing to help anyone going through any type of transition. But this does not work because is not fair for client, because you don't understand every single transition to really effectively help someone. But if you pick one type of transition, as your what, you can really also stand out. So, for example, you can be career change coach. Yes, not career success coach. That's different than career change, right? Because it's different point in client's journey. Yeah, or many coaches call themselves success coaches. But what success? I can call myself niche success. I can help, or I can call myself niche transition coach. You know what I mean? So it's so important to know what you help with, relating to what stage in your client's life it's actually happening. Because someone who want to get first high-level job will have different issues and the different kind of needs than someone who switches from one career to another because they don't want to start from zero, for example. Or, there are different issues that those people who are looking now for solutions want to be understood by coach. So it's that important to have that, to be specific, and especially current economy, especially US market, that's where most of my clients coming from. The growth is definitely exponential, but the growth is exponential anywhere actually when it comes to coaching. But what changed drastically, massively, more than ever, is that that specialization is more important than ever, because there's kind of more competition, more coaches, the marketplace is more busy essentially. So many people moved online after pandemic, but at the same time, there's so much more demand for coaches as well, and it is just estimated to grow like 3% every single year. So it's absolute, exponential growth. So yeah, it's important to think of, can I distinguish myself? Can I narrow down my niche by who I serve, or perhaps by what kind of point transition I actually support them with, or maybe my very unique and sharp point of view, or my method that is just so different. I think you need to juggle all those three these days. The more you use each of them, the more kind of refined it will be, and more unique in the marketplace. But always remember those three things if you get lost.